guys, I got the shrimp in yesterday, so I figured it is time for an all-around update. Okay, so I put these shrimp in last night and it is now kind of early afternoon and they seem to be doing okay. Here's the blue bolt tank. I haven't seen any losses, so that looks good. And most of them are kind of just hanging out on the glass there where all the algae is. The good algae is growing. And then I've got this tank down here which has the black rose, but you guys look, it's black gravel with black rose shrimp. Oh, there's one, you can see it. I'm like trying to look in here to see to find the shrimp, and it's so hard to see them. But you can see that one. That's right there, and I'm sorry for the shaky hand. I've got a baby in one hand and a phone in the other. And then over here are the Bloody Marys. I have a lot more plants in here, so they're hiding, but you can see them kind of grazing. And I already did have Bloody Mary in here, but the smaller ones are gonna be the ones from Eric. A lot of them like to hide in the driftwood, but it's kind of hard to see now. Oh, they're there. And then over here, we've got the shadow pandas. Now the way I've set up these boxes, oh my gosh, it's so hard to see. The way I've set up these boxes is kind of hard to see, but you can see one on the filter in the back, and that's all I can see. They're probably just hiding in these boxes. Oh, there's one right here. Come on, focus. There's two. But yeah, this tank doesn't get quite as much light because the light doesn't quite get above this tank. But that's okay. It gets some indirect sunlight from the window. Not a lot because there's a curtain, but yep, all the shrimp seem to be doing a-okay. And my baby is not. You can see him in the reflection. He's struggling. Okay, really quick, going back to this tank. If you guys are wondering why these plants are kind of all over the place and not rooted and like, you know, this tank isn't really that scaped, it's because Kira decided to go fishing for plants in this tank. So she ripped out all the plants and put them on, you know, the floor, and I tried to salvage what I could, and I just threw them back in the tank. This was like probably a week ago, so it wasn't like right when I was acclimating the shrimp or anything, but that is why this tank looks like a hot mess. And I know you guys have been wondering about my PRLs. Do I still have them? Do I still breed them? Do I still sell them? And the answer is yes, I still do have them, but no, I do not sell them and or have not sold them in a long time. And the reason for that is because these guys have been left to breed without culling for the past few years because of everything that's been going on. So the quality isn't quite where I would want my PRL to be for selling. It's not selling quality. So if anything, I would consider these culls at this point because the amount of work I put in originally to cull them was a lot, and just to get it to the quality that they were at before. But now they are not. So that is one reason. The other reason is that these guys, at some point in time, I found a red wine in the tank, and that was really odd to me because these guys are PRL. Now I reached out to the original breeder that I brought this from, and he's a really well-known guy in the shrimp world, and you know, I really trust him, and I asked him, you know, hey, I noticed a red wine in the tank. Is it possible that, you know, this line is not a PRL line? And he said that he had never gotten a red wine in his tank, and you know, it's probably just a mutation of some sort. So I looked it up, I did some research, and you know, it is thought that red wines, or I think they're called red pandas now, are originated from the PRL line. So it's very, very possible I had a mutation in the tank. I did remove the red wine in question, but since then I have noticed some, red wines pop up occasionally in this tank. So I really wouldn't consider this a PRL tank, or I guess a pure red line shrimp, because they have the potential to produce red wines. But if you guys are interested in some PRLs that, carry red wine or red panda genes, because these guys have the potential for that, I guess, then let me know, because I'll be selling them as culls that carry that gene. Aside from all the shrimp stuff, here is the saltwater tank we are setting up. It's kind of half full right now, kind of cloudy. We had rescaped it and it's just slowly getting filled, and then it's going to be cycled. So that's where we're at with this. Thank you guys for your shrimp suggestions on the last video. That really helps me narrow down the kind of shrimp that I want to put in here, and or that you guys want to see in here. So stay tuned for more updates on this tank. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate all of your support, and a huge thank you to those who have purchased from my website. I am so appreciative of that. So thank you. And I know someone had asked earlier if I had any scaped tanks, and I do. The only one that really is scaped is the Bloody Mary tank, and that is just because the previous tank was scaped, so I moved everything from that tank over. And the other tanks are just the way they are because I haven't really had time to scape them, and it's just for ease of access of the shrimp. So I plan on using the other tanks as more breeder tanks, and if the tanks are heavily planted, it's really hard to catch the shrimp. So I'm trying to minimize the difficulty in catching the shrimp in those tanks. But there will be some display tanks that I will get together in the near future. Stay tuned for that, and if you guys have any questions or comments, make sure you leave them below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.